طيب بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, and upon his family, his companions, and upon all those who follow upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day, to proceed, ya ikhwan. Allahumma علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وربنا زدنا علما والحمد لله رب العالمين. Oh Allah, we ask that you teach us that which will benefit us, and that you benefit us with that which you have taught us, and that you increase all of us upon knowledge. And all the praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. Allahumma aslih lana sha'nana kullah wa la takilna li anfusina tarafata aynin. Oh Allah, we ask that you rectify our affairs for us, all of our affairs, and that you do not leave us to ourselves, not even for the blinking of an eye. طيب نواصل معكم في هذا اليوم المبارك عونا من الرحيم. So we continue in this blessed and noble day of ours, seeking the aid and the assistance of our Lord, the most merciful and the most compassionate. مستفيدين متعلمين من اللغة العربية as we continue to learn and derive benefit and educate ourselves from the science of the Arabic language. فلا نزال في كتاب دليل المعلم. So we're still in the book, walhamdulillah, the dalil of the muallim, the teacher's handbook, or you can say the teacher's guide. طيب فمن يذكرنا بكلمة أو بفائدة تعلمناها قبل, who can give us a word or benefit or principle or something we had the honor to learn previously. The different ways of saying yes. طيب, the different ways of saying yes. جميلا. طيب, تعلمنا كلمة نعم. We learned the word نعم. وكذلك تعلمنا كلمة إي. We also learned the word إي. وتعلمنا كلمة أجل. And we also learned the word أجل. وكلها بمعنى نعم. كلها بمعنى نعم. And all of them have the word yes. I sent you. I want to go to the YouTube and make sure it's sound, inshallah. May Allah bless you all. طيب. ومن أيضا, who else can give us another benefit we learned? Focus on the Dhamir is the adad it's just for adad. جميلا. طيب. التركيز. طيب. التركيز, the focus regarding this should be regarding الضمير. التركيز في الضمير is on two things. You mentioned the pronoun. There are a few other things, but these are the main things. If you got this, you got it. The focus on the tarkeez, or the tarkeez on the dhamir, is on two things, ya ikhwan. Two things. Al-jins wal-adad. The focus on the pronoun is on two things. If you got these two things down, you got it. Al-jins wal-adad. The gender and the number. You have to know the gender of the pronoun you're referring to, or the noun you're referring to when you use the pronoun, and the adad, the number. Al-jinsu wal-adadu. The gender and the number. طيب. Anyone else have another benefit, يا إخوان?
Also might have to be placed instead of saying here, attach pronoun to it. So we want to say, like, who was Kitab? We say Kitabuhu.
MashaAllah. And we also mentioned that you don't always have to repeat the noun that's mentioned. لا. You can. ولكن ليس عليك. But it's not upon you to do so. Rather, نستبدل الاسم للضمير. But rather, we can change that noun and replace it with a pronoun. فمثلا نقول, so we say, for example, هل درست ذلك الكتاب? من يترجم? Who can translate the sentence? هل درست ذلك الكتاب?
Did you study that book?
MashaAllah. Did you study that book? طيب. Did you study that book? نعم. الآن قال هل درست ذلك الكتاب? Did you study that book? فيجوز لنا أن نقول نعم درست ذلك الكتاب. Yes, you can say, yes, I studied that book. That's allowed. وكذلك نختصر نستبدل الاسم للضمير. You can also summarize. Substitute the noun and change it for the pronoun. You say نعم درسته. Yes, I studied it. No. I studied it. طيب نبدأ إن شاء الله. Let's begin يا إخوان. So كتاب is ماذا؟ مفرد. فنستخدم الضمير للمفرد. So كتاب is singular. We use the singular pronoun. كتاب مذكر. كتاب is masculine. We use the masculine pronoun. درسته. نعم. طيب. لأصحاب الكتب وصلنا إلى 89. For those that have the book, we arrived at page number 89. Page number 89. طيب اقرأ يا أبا زبير. So he says في السكن والمطعم, in the house or in the residence, wherever you live, anywhere you reside, is called the second. It doesn't have to be a house. It doesn't have to be wherever it is. It's a second, a residence. So in the residence and in the restaurant. No. تفضل. طيب. So the first part is the question about the residence. طيب. تفضل شيخ نكير. طيب. في الحجرة, in the room, in one of the rooms. طيب. إبراهيم تفضل. Is Ibrahim with us يا إخوان? طيب. Who else is with us? Sister Valisi تفضلي. في المطعم. مطعم. طيب. في المطعم, in the restaurant. طيب. أين أم عالية وأم سكينة today? طيب سكينة. ها نعم. سكينة number 4. ما شاء الله. تناول الطعام, partaking or eating the food. So number 4 is going to be talking about the food. طيب قال السؤال عن السكن. The question about the residence. The question about the residence. طيب في هذا الدرس عندنا كلمة أو كلمات جديدة جدا. So in this lesson we have a lot of new vocabulary يا إخوان. A lot of new vocab. طيب whose turn? أبو زبير تفضل. First word. طيب our first word يا إخوان سكن. كلمة سكن لها عدة معان. The word سكن has a lot of meanings. أهم معان منها معنيان. The most important of things are 2. سكن in the مضارع يسكن. طيب سكن يسكن. I believe, and I have to check, you can also say يسكن, but I have to check that. So we'll save that one. طيب سكن in the past, يسكن in the مضارع, in the present, in the current, in the حاضر, in the present. طيب سكن means to be calm. To be calm. To be at ease. سكن. Take it easy. To relax. To be calm. It can also mean to live. It can also mean to live. To reside. So سكن يسكن has a few meanings. One of them, to be calm. To take it easy. To relax. It can also mean to live. To reside. So سكن 25 times. طيب whose turn? Next word. شقناكي اقرأ. الطلبة. سكنوا الطلبة. هنا إخوان سكنوا الطلبة مضاف مضاف إليه. سكن أو سكنوا الطلبة. The resident of الطلبة, for the students. If we have a building, and this is where your teachers live, this is where the families live, or this is where the students live. This is the سكنوا الطلبة. You can say the dorms, but it's for the students. The student dorms, where the students live. The dorm rooms, if you're in a college, you can say that. Some universities, they have Sakanu Lil. The dorms or the headquarters or the living quarters for the teachers that live on campus. And then you have the Sakanu Al Talaba, the residence for the students. Only the students live there. All right, let's take one more, and then we'll take the remaining ones from the Hiwar. So Sakanu Talaba, 25. So you can also say the dorms for students. The dorms where the students live. In Yemen, in the village there in Damaj, they had a Sakanu al-Talaba, the place for only the students in that area. And then that was divided into two parts, the single brothers, and then the people that had their families. طيب, let's take one more, inshallah. Whose turn? Sakina, next word. طيب. الطابق. الطابق. طيب. So the طابق is like the floor. Say if the building has 3 floors. Each floor is a طابق. The floor. طابق. The floor. طابق. So the طابق is the floor. الطابق الرابع, the 4th floor. الطابق الأول, the 1st floor. You can also say level. Yeah, you can say level. Say if you're in a building, say our school, inshallah, one day we hope we get a building, and the building has 3 levels. Allahu Akbar. 2 levels. 1 level. Allahu Akbar. طيب. طيب, let's continue, إخوان. طيب, نبدأ إن شاء الله. طيب, هذا الحوار بين آدم وخالد. So this dialogue is between Adam and Khalid. Adam and Khalid. طيب, who wants to be our first 2 readers? We have the brothers go first, and then the sisters will go second, inshallah. So Abu Zubayr and Sheikh Nakir. Abu Zubayr, you be Adam. Sheikh Nakir, you be Good. Sheikh Nakir. Assalamu alaikum. I think the Sheikh got bumped off. Sheikh Nakir. طيب. مرحبا يا آدم. تفضل. أسكن في سكن الطلبة الطابق الرابع الحجرة الثانية. إلى اللقاء في السكن الطلبة. طيب. That one was kind of short there, إخوان. طيب, now for our sisters, inshallah. Sister Valesa, you can be Adam. Sakina, you be Khalid. Yeah.
أين تأكل؟
Yeah.
أين تأكل؟
Yeah.
أسكن في سكن طلبتي.
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 Yeah. Continue.
الطابق الرابع.
Yeah.
الحجرة الثانية.
Yeah. Yeah.
إلى الآن في سكن طلبتي.
Yeah. أحسنتم جميعا. طيب, all of you done well. إن شاء الله في الفائدة. So now let's take some benefit. So he says مرحبا يا خالد. أخذنا مرحبا قبله. We learned the word مرحبا before. You can say مرحبا. You can say أهلا وسهلا. You can say أهلا. You can say أهلا بك. You can say مرحبا بك. All of that means welcome or you are welcome. I welcome you. طيب. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome with ease. So that's a little bit extra, alhamdulillah. So he says, Marhaban ya Khalid, welcome, O Khalid. Marhaban ya Adam, welcome, O Adam. Aina taskunu. Second means to live. Where do you live? He says, Askunu fi kanit talaba. I live in the student residence. So لعلهم في الجامعة أو في مثلا ماذا المستشفى أو جامعة المستشفى أو هكذا. So it looks like they're either in a university or a university for a hospital or something like that. So he says, I live in the student residence. Now pay attention to this next sentence يا إخوان. الطابق الرابع. So he says, on the fourth floor. هنا الطابق الرابع. So he mentions it مجرورا in the genitive. Why is that? Why did he mention it in the genitive? He says, نعم تفضل. مضاف إليه. طيب. He says, let's add our vowels first. الطابق الرابع. طيب. Not مضاف إليه, but close. Something there. It is the not, it is the man'ut, but that would make it genitive. Now you have to really look, ya ikhwan. طيب. Why is it genitive? الطابقي الرابعي. Who knows? سكينة ست فليسي. لماذا? Why is it مجرور? Why is it genitive?
Because it's followed by is it followed by a harf?
Is it followed by a harf or does it come after a harf? طيب. Now give you. طيب. Look here يا إخوان. Look at the second sentence. Look at it. He says, أسكن في سكن الطلبة. Now look at the fi. Remember some time ago we mentioned that sometimes the particle can affect the whole page. Sometimes the particle can affect the whole paragraph. Sometimes it can affect only one sentence. Let's write it bigger, إخوان. طيب. So here he says, طيب. He says, أسكن في سكن الطلبة. Let's make it bigger. Now look at the fi. Pay attention to the fi. Pay attention to the fi. So he says, I live in the student dormitory. As kunu fi sakani mudaf. Here's the mudaf ilayh. طيب. Fi sakani. So fi affects sakani, and sakani affects the talaba. طيب. Now, if this next sentence of tabiq is connected to that sentence, then the fi is also going to affect it. If this sentence is a brand new sentence, has nothing to do with the previous sentence, then it would be al-tabaqu, al-rabi'u. But here it's connected. He's connecting this next sentence on the fourth floor to the previous sentence. So he's saying, I live in the student dormitory on the fourth floor. That's connected. Likewise, the next sentence too. الحجرة الثانية. So this other sentence here also is connected to the fi. So the fi is going to affect the sentence في سكن طلبة الطابق الرابع الحجرة في الثانية. So that's also affected by the fi. So remember, with the harf jar or even a verb, whatever is connected to it is going to be affected by it. So the fi affected the second. The talaba was affected by the second. Mudaf mudaf ilayh. Al-tabiq affected by the fi. Al-rabi' affected by the fi. Al-hujra affected by the fi. Al-thaniya affected by the fi. No. So that's important to know, especially when you're reading. You're reading the Quran, you're reading the Hadith, and you say, why is this kasra? You come across the verse. Allah Ta'ala says, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmani Ar-Rahim. طيب, this are vowels. Alhamdu lillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmani Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahmani Ar-Rahim. Why is it kasra? It should be dhamma. Why is it kasra? Who knows? Because say it again. It's mudaf. Alhamdu. You're on the right path. You're on the right path. The hamdu looks like it's mudaf, but this the lam here is actually what's affecting the Allah, not the mudaf. No, it looks like that. The kasra. Alhamdu lillah. This lam is what's making that. This lam on Allah. Tayyib. Something else, but you're right there. Something is making the Rahman Rahmani. It should be Al-Rahmanu. It's a new verse. Al-Rahmanu. It's just like this. Huh? Tayyib. It is following. What is it following? Why is it kasra?
Following the message from the kasra, from the lam kasra,
on the lam, alhamdulillahi. Type. It's affected by this lam. Now look at this lam, just like our lesson today. The lam I'm trying to highlight just the lam, ya ikhwan, to show just the lam only. I can't do that. طيب. The lam here, harfu jar, is going to affect Rabbi. If you look, remember our principles. The noun is what? What did we learn? Every noun is what? Hey, I sent. The nouns in marfu'an. That's a principle, ya ikhwan. Memorize that. It's going to help you tremendously. Al-asma wal-ism marfu'. The nouns are nominative. Marfu'. Memorize that. That's a principle in grammar. Nouns are nominative. Meaning, what does nominative mean? It's a fancy word that means the word ends in dhamma or what takes the place of dhamma. That's what nominative means. But if you don't know the word in English, it's no benefit. So we like to make it easy. What does that word mean? No one knows nominative unless you study English, for example. Nouns are nominative. Unless you study English, I still need you to break that down. Yeah, hey, what's nominative? I didn't learn that in my school. Me neither. At any rate, the meaning is namana. Where's my noun? My in. Nominative. What this means, nominative, is the word ends in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. That's nominative. So marfu', the word ends in dhamma, or what takes the place of dhamma. Memorize that principle, ya ikhwan. If you understand that, that's a principle of grammar that you have memorized. So something has to make a noun become mansuban, accusative, ending in fatha, or what takes the place of fatha, or majruran, genitive, ending in kasra, what takes the place of kasra. That's why personally, ikhwan, a lot of these words, we try to break them down because it sounds nice. Oh, that's accusative. But a lot of times you don't even know what that means. I just heard someone say it, so I'm saying it. But what's the meaning of it? What's the benefit of using a fancy word that nobody knows what you're saying? The goal is to educate, to teach, to clarify. So you still have to break it down. So we try to make it easy, alhamdulillah. So now, go back to the verse. Alhamdulillahi Rabbi al-Alameen Al-Rahmani Al-Rahimi. Even the next verse you can add to that. Maliki is also affected by it. Maliki Yawmi Ad-Din. Yawmi Ad-Din. Tayyib. That's why grammar is so important. Tayyib. Maliki Yawmi Ad-Din. Tayyib. The first three verses are connected. Maliki is Maliki for the same reason that Ar-Rahman is Ar-Rahmani. The lam on the Allah, Alhamdulillah, is going to affect everything that's connected to it. So Rabbi is the sifa, or you can say the not of, it can also be the atuf bayan of Allah. Then the Rabb is mudaf. So Alameen is affected by the mudaf ilayh. Now Ar-Rahman, if it's a new verse, nothing to do with this verse, it would be Ar-Rahmanu, Ar-Rahimu. But it's not a brand new verse. It's connected to the verse that came before it. So it takes the rules of what it's connected to. So the lillah affects the Rabb. Ar-Rahman is the same type of word as the Rabb. Ar-Rahim, same type of word as the Rabb. Maliki, same type of word as the Rabb. They are all sifa, or you can say not. So, lillahi rabbi, ar-Rahmani, ar-Rahimi, maliki. So the lillah affects everything that's a sifa to Allah. Rabb, sifa. Ar-Rahman, sifa. Ar-Rahim, sifa. Maliki, sifa. So if you understand, the origin is that nouns are marfu'. Memorize that, ya ikhwan. Just like another principle we can give. The maf'ulun bi is always mansub. That's another principle in grammar. You're never going to find it otherwise. Al-maf'ulu, let's write this down. Al-maf'ulu bihi, mansub. Always going to be mansub. In every example you can mention. This is absolute. The maf'ulu bihi is always mansub. So you just learned two principles of grammar. The maf'ulun bi, the accusative noun that the action of the verb falls on, is always accusative. What's a fancy way to translate maf'ulun bi? Ali has a translation. What's your translation? Huh? The object, accusative. Oh yeah. The object of the verb. That sounds awesome here, Kwan. But some of us, like myself, unless you're studying English, you still, okay, Yaki, break that down now. So, to make it easy, that's why I do that also. But I can say the object of the verb. That's fine. Alright, meaning the noun that's accusative in Arabic. The al-ism mansub الذي وقع عليه فعل الفاعل. The accusative noun that the action of the verb falls on is always mansub. If you memorize that, you just learn two principles of grammar. That's it. So now going back, why is the sentence al-tabaqi al-rabi'i? Why is it majroor? Because it's connected to the sentence that came before it. It's majroor because of the fi. So going back here, look at our sentence here, ikhwan. Askunu fi. I live in. Anything connected to this in is going to be majroor. I live in sakan al-talaba, the student dorms. Al-tabaqi, al-rabi'i, on the fourth floor. Fourth floor where? In the student dorms. Connected. Al-hujrati, al-thaniya, in the second room. Second room where? On the fourth floor. Fourth floor where? Student dormitory. So it's all connected. Alright. Man la yafham, who doesn't understand? So in grammar, it affects whatever is connected to it. For example, you're talking to a brother and he says, Kayfa al-ikhwa, or Kayfa al-akh, how is the brother? I'm talking to Abu Zubayr and Sheikh Nakir is mentioned. And I say, oh, كيف الأخ? كيف الشيخ? How was the brother? How was our sheikh? Well, the brother says, هو بخير, he's doing good. And then another brother is mentioned. Who else? Our brother Ali is mentioned. And then I say, Sallam alayhi wa huwa. So I say, give Sheikh Nakir the salams. I say, Sallam ala al-Sheikh Nakir. Wa alayhi. I say, give Sheikh Nakir the salams when you see him. Sallam ala al-Sheikh Nakir. Now I bring the wow. So now I'm going to connect this last part to the first part. So it follows the rules of it. Wa alayhi. And upon him, that other brother. So in Arabic, you can join, you can connect. That's why you have these different particles. You can join paragraphs. You can join suwar. You can join verses. You can join sentences. And they're going to follow whatever rule that preceded it that was connected to it. So I say, give the sheikh the salams and him. And him. So the him is connected to the sheikh grammatically. So it will be alayhi. Like that. Like our sentence. طيب. Next benefit. He says, إلى اللقاء في السكن الطلبة. إلى اللقاء. إلى اللقاء is a nice way to say until we come together again. Until we meet again. إلى اللقاء. إلى اللقاء. Until we meet again. Until I see you again. إلى اللقاء. It's literally until the meeting. But it means until we meet again. Us. So I see you again. إلى اللقاء. No. The difficulty is that sometimes we take these phrases outside of the salams. Sometimes, and this is why, sometimes in some of the books, it looks like, or the students learn, use this, but when they learn it, they learn to use it outside of its place. This is not in place of the salams. Like we learned in the previous book, Ma'a as-salam. Ma'a as-salam, or Ma'a as-salama, learn this phrase. Ma'a as-salama, with peace. And this is slightly different than Assalamu alaikum, because may you travel with peace, or may peace accompany you, is different than may Allah bestow upon you peace. So sometimes we learn these phrases, and that's awesome, but we use them in the wrong places. This should come after the salam. Someone's traveling, and you make a dua for them. Alhamdulillah. You say, Rafaqatka salama. May peace accompany you. That's awesome. But when you part ways, you say, Assalamu alaikum. do the sunnah also. So ila liqa, alhamdulillah, you can say that. Until I see you again, ya akhi. طيب. But not in place of the salams. When you separate, assalamu alaikum rahmatullah, no problem. But sometimes we use these certain phrases out of their context or in place of something that shouldn't be there. You give the salams. That's the sunnah. And then make dua for the person. Allahu Akbar. You're going to sleep. You say to the girl, to your wife, Rafaqatki salama fin nawm. Alhamdulillah. May peace accompany you in your sleep. Alhamdulillah. Nice. They part ways. The brother is traveling. You say, ila liqa. Until I see you again, ya akhi. Salamu alaikum rahmatullah. No problem. But sometimes we use these phrases and we don't do the sunnah. Two Muslims meet each other. They say, hey, marhaban. No. You give the salams first. Or you say, marhaban, salamu alaikum. But you give the salams. Whether it's first or second. But you don't give these phrases in place of the salams. Two sisters come together, and as she says, marhaban biki anti, and they never give salams. No. Marhaban, assalamu alayki, or assalamu alaykum first, and that's better. And then, marhaban, ahlan wa sahlan biki. Alhamdulillah. So do the sunnah, ya ikhwan. That's the best. Alright, let's continue, inshallah. Question that. طيب أولا, first exercise, استمع وردد, listen and repeat. طيب أنا أسكن في الطابق الأول. في الطابق الأول. I reside on the first floor. طيب أنا أسكن في الطابق الثاني. I reside on the second floor. طيب. So now everyone is going to read, inshallah. We're going to listen. I want you to, everyone's going to take a turn. Read the first and the second, inshallah. Who's first, ya ikhwan? أبو زبيد تفضل.
أنا أسكن في طابق الأول.
في الطابق. اسم مجرور. Read. Try it again.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الأول.
Ahsant. Number 2.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثاني.
أحسنت. شيخ نكير تفضل. Good. Number 2. في الطابة. فتحة on your back. في الطابة. Ahsant. طيب, Sister Valesi, number 1.
أنا أسكن في الطابق
الأول. Join your qaf. The kasr on the qaf. Join it to the lam. في الطابق الأول. Yeah, ahsanti. Anytime you have the alif or lam on you guys' level now, try your best to join them. It's not incorrect not to join them, but now where you guys are, try to do what's best. Try to join that alif or lam. Alright, number 2, Sister Valesi.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثاني.
Yeah, ahsanti, just like that. Qaf to the tha. طابق الثاني. Even in your speech, while you're talking, try to do the same. You join that qaf to that lam. أنا أسكن في الطابق الأول. في الطابق الثاني. نعم أحسنتي. سكينة number 1.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الأول.
Good. Number 2.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثاني.
Good. أحسنتي. آلية تفضلي.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الأول.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثاني.
جميلا. طيب now يا إخوان we're gonna practice. He says طيب يستمر التدريب باستخدام الكلمات الآتية. So the lesson continues using the following words. So now we're going to practice. We have الثالث, the third floor. الرابع, fourth. الخامس, fifth. السادس, sixth. السابع, seven. الثامن, eight. التاسع, nine. العاشر, 10. So now we're going to practice. Right? So we're all going to say, we're going to do it easy, inshallah. I want you all to do it one by one, how we just did it. And then we're going to read, I live on the first floor. We did the second, so I want you to continue from the third, the fourth, the fifth. So we're going to go one by one, inshallah. Be patient with each other, inshallah ta'ala. So I want you to say, keep the same sentence. Ana askunu. We're going to change the floor. So I want you to read, for example, Abu Zubayr, our same order. Abu Zubayr is going to go first, Nakid, same order we do, no problem. Tayyip, you're going to read the third floor. Then I want you to read again. I live on the fourth floor. Then read again. I live on the fifth floor, all the way to the 10th. Then the next person. So be patient with each other. Everyone's going to get a turn. Inshallah, this is one of the ways to practice our reading and to also practice التكلم, our speech. طيب, تفضل أبو زبير.
أنا أسكن في طابقة الباردة.
Take your tail away. في طابقي.
طابقي باردة.
Good. Fourth. أي نعم تفضل.
أنا أسكن في طابق الثالث.
Hey, better. Good.
أنا أسكن في طابق الرابع.
Good.
أنا أسكن في طابق أنا أسكن في طابق الخامس.
Read that one again.
أنا أسكن في طابق
لا بد. No.
أنا أسكن في طابق الخامس.
Hey, good.
أنا أسكن في طابق السادس.
Good.
أنا أسكن في طابق السابع.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثامن.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق التاسع.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق العاشر.
الله أكبر. جميلا جميلا. أحسنت أحسنت. طيب شكلك إيه؟ دورك your turn. Third floor. في الطابق. Picture word, don't forget the word طابق. في الطابق. أين؟ لا بأس. Good. Good. الخامس. Try that one again. Hey, now. 6. سادس. Good. 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 Last one, 10th floor. هنا العاشري. أحسنت. طيب, whose turn? Sister Valacy, 3rd floor.
أنا أكل بالطبق الكذاب.
Now take your on your ba, make it a fatha, not a kasra. طابة.
أنا أكل بالطبق الكذاب.
Good. 4th.
أنا أكل بالطبق الرابع.
Good. 5th.
أنا أكل بالطبق الخامس.
Good. 6th.
أنا أكل بالطبق السادس.
Good. 7th.
أنا أكل بالطبق السابع.
سابي. Good. 8th.
أنا أكل بالطبق الثامن.
Good. 9th.
أنا أكل بالطبق التاسع.
MashaAllah. 10th.
أنا أكل بالطبق العاشر.
MashaAllah. جميلا. Sakina, 3rd floor.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثالث.
Fourth.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الرابع.
Good. Fifth.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الخامس.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق السادس.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثامن.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق التاسع.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق العاشر.
MashaAllah. جميلا. طيب, Ma'aliya, 3rd floor.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثالث. الطابق الثالث. أنا أسكن في الطابق الرابع.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الخامس. أنا أسكن في الطابق السادس.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق السابع.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق الثامن.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق التاسع.
Good.
أنا أسكن في الطابق العاشر.
أحسنتم. طيب, last benefit يا إخوان. طيب, the tricky thing number here. طيب, for example, الثالث. طيب, الثالث. طيب, now this is not the number. This is when you want to say the third. This is not 3. This is the third. The cardinal number, somebody can correct me there, or the something like that. طيب, when you, the ordinal, how you pronounce? The ordinal. طيب, the ordinal number. When you take the number and you want to say from 1, first, from 2, second, from 3, third. The ordinal number. The number itself is ثلاثة. This is the number. 3. So we're going to take the number, and you remember the fa'il, that shape we learned, the fa'il, the ordinal number looks like the fa'il. So we're going to make the number on the shape of fa'il. So thalatha becomes thalith. Now the tricky part, the masculine is what we just did just now. For example, at-tabaqu athalithu. Because tabaq is masculine. And this is the tricky part. The numbers also have to agree. So since tabaq is masculine, we use the masculine ordinal number. At-tabaqu athalithu. But if it was feminine, the ordinal number would change to the feminine ordinal number. So say we say, for example, what's the word that's feminine, ya ikhwan? طيب. السيارة. السيارة الثالث. No. Now, since we use السيارة and سيارة is feminine, we have to use the feminine ordinal number. So now it becomes الثالثة, the third car. We didn't get there yet, but inshallah, just as a benefit. Right now we're doing the masculine number. Al-tabaqu is mufrad and is mudhakkar, singular and masculine. So we use the singular and the masculine ordinal number. Al-tabaqu athalithu. When we get to the feminine, it's going to change. As-sayyaratu athalithatu. So like we say, ad-darusu al-awwalu. Ad-darus is masculine. So we use the masculine ordinal number. Ad-darusu al-awwalu. Right? If it was feminine, say we say a school. Al-madrasatu. Al-madrasatu. Now we don't say awwal. Now we have to use the feminine. Al-ula. Al-ula. So today we did the masculine ordinal number. The feminine is slightly different. Even in numbers, it has to agree. So today we did 3 to 10. And then inshallah ta'ala, I believe the next exercise is the feminine. Now, right? So pay attention there. Right now we're doing the masculine. So I want you to practice. Remember, ya ikhwan, one of the best ways to become a better reader is to read more. One of the best ways to become a better writer is to write more. One of the best ways to become a better speaker is to speak more. But you can take your reading exercises and apply them to speech. Read out loud. Slow down. Remember, it's not always the speed of how you're saying it. Just because you say it faster doesn't mean your Arabic is better. Just because you say it slower doesn't mean your Arabic is not better. No. Your knowledge of Arabic has nothing to do with the speed of how fast you say the words. No. That's a misconception to us. So you guys don't always have to spit through. You can, no problem. But just realize that doesn't mean that my Arabic is less. And that doesn't mean that my Arabic is greater. No. But you want to read with clarity? You want to speak with clarity? That's the point. And you want to read correctly and you want to speak correctly to the best of your ability. So we'll stop there, ikhwan. We're almost at the end of the book already. Well, we're almost halfway through already. And I said we should be done in 20 lessons. Inshallah, that's what I mentioned. I predicted. So hopefully we can keep to that record or that pace. It seems like we're doing well, inshallah ta'ala. So we'll stop there, inshallah. Anything that we said that's correct is from Allah. Anything we said that's incorrect is from ourselves. وَجَزَاكُمْ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا وَسُبْحَانَكَ اللَّهُمَّ وَبِحَمْدِكَ أَشْهَدُ أَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ أَسْتَغْفِرُكَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْكَ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ. السلام